Hey y'all, and welcome back to Joey's Booked. Today we are going to be starting a new reading vlog. I'm getting back from, we've got another, you're good, I can always cut. Hang on, I gotta switch hands. So I am gonna read on Mother Thing. Mother Thing. I'm going to start reading Mother. Anyway, sorry to have that. Dad just walked in with a bunch of groceries. But it's giving, so the mother-in-law is no. So the mother will. My god, my words. Sorry, editing. You're not a vampire. So, obviously, I am in a little bit of a different location than usual. I am starting this actually at my parents'. I'm up for the weekend at the end of spring break, visiting for my great aunt's birthday party that's coming up. It's also been really stormy up here, so we're going to take advantage to go ahead and start this while it's a little bit quiet, before all the bad weather and stuff picks up. So in this vlog, what I wanted to do is I've had this idea for a minute of doing either like weird, kind of weird girl type horror or like women as monsters. I don't really know what it is at this point because I've kind of changed my mind a handful of times. But I've had some books that I've wanted to pick up, and then there's been a few others that kind of fit the vibes. So it's going to be kind of like a all in the vibes kind of thing. At first I was like, oh, it's March, Women's Month, women in horror, something like that could work. After that I was just like, I don't really know what's going on. Maybe it's like women as the creatures or whatever else, and then it's just kind of jumped around. So this is going to be pretty much an all weird girl kind of maybe vibe type video. It's going to just kind of be what it is. So for this, I'm going to be kind of just picking some different kind of vibes for books. I don't have them all with me right now to really hold up. However, I am actually going to be starting with a book that I thought I would never be reading. And that's going to be Bunny by Mona Awad. So I've said for a while, like, this isn't something I was really interested in, even though it's been really popular. It really fits those weird girl vibes, even possibly some of like the creaturey stuff. I don't really fully know. But my library had this available, and once I get into the other two books, because I got to read this one first, because of the library hold due. But once I get into the other two books, maybe kind of the vibes will kind of fit. But all I really know about this is it's kind of like this weird sorority girl kind of situation, and there's these girls called the Bunnies who are really weird with each other. Like, they call each other Bunny and don't really call each other by name and things like that, and it's almost kind of like almost this culty kind of feel from the way that I've heard it described, and I think it kind of gets even weirder from there. So I think I'm going to jump into this, especially with it being stormy and stuff. Perfect day just to sit down and read a lot, and I will maybe kind of check in. So it's a little bit later the same day, and I have reached pretty close to the 100-page mark of Bunny. I'm now just kind of chilling in one of the guest rooms, a little bit change of scenery, but I will say, I never thought I was going to be interested in this, because even though I knew it was kind of weird and had some horror elements and stuff supposed to be to it, I just didn't care about like the sorority girl thing that it was supposed to be. But at this point, basically, with more of a full setup of what's going on, is we are following Samantha, and she is kind of like this not like other girls kind of person. And, you know, she's like dark and broody and all of that kind of stuff. And she is attending her second semester of her master's at this big university that I think is supposed to be like Ivy League kind of level and is known for their little bit of a different approach to their writing program. And at this university, there are also the Bunnies, who, like I think I said before, are these sorority girls, and they're always like all clicked up together and like, oh, I love you, Bunny, or hi, Bunny, and like just the way they talk to each other, it's really cringy. But the more that I'm getting into this, they are more distinctive of characters than I expected them to be. I think there's 4 bunnies, and like one of them's very prim and proper, but like one of them's very more like alternative, One of them they call Creepy Doll, which she reminds me, if you've ever seen the Pitch Perfect movies, of the little quiet girl that barely speaks and everything she says is something really dark. That's who I have in my head as I'm reading her character. But like she's like dressed more in like these ghosty kind of dresses and things like that. And there's like they each have their own very different identity. So I thought they were all gonna be like these prim proper sorority type girls. I don't even know if they're in a sorority. I think they're just like cliquey. But it's kind of weird because it's like this strange adult take on that. And they have started to invite Sam. She's in a workshop with just these four other girls. And they've started to invite Sam to, like, what they call their smut salon and, like, these different events and things that they're holding and parties and stuff like that and kind of are welcoming her in. But then weird stuff starts to go down when Sam's with the bunnies. On top of that, Sam also has her friend Ava, who is, like, a dropout and another one of those not like other girls that she's like navigating her relationship with at the same time. And then there's this Jonah guy who seems to be hitting on her and her whole past with this like previous professor or something. So like there's a lot more going on than expected. So where I just left off at the end of chapter 11, what the crap is going on? I have some ideas. There's some things that seem to be making sense. The bunnies, I think, are a lot more than just a name at this point. But, like, I think I might like this more than I thought I was going to. A lot more. And I'm kind of invested a little bit. Yeah, I kind of want to just keep reading tonight and, go with the weather, use this as an excuse to kind of take a reading day. Because, even though I'm at my parents', like, my dad's been doing stuff off and on. My mom's at work today. So, like, it's not like I'm doing a whole lot today. This might be one of those foot and mouth moments where this could end up being a really good book. I just really like the writing. Mona Awad has this writing that's easy and it's dark, but it's also kind of comedic at times. And that's what's working for me more than the story itself. But there's just enough weird happening that I think this could have the potential to be a foot and mouth moment where I'm like, dang it, I should have just read the book to begin with. So it's definitely fitting the weird girl aesthetic. It's definitely fitting the dark, creepy, women-based stories that I was really hoping for. Still don't fully know what this vlog is, but we're just gonna go in for the ride. We're gonna keep seeing what kind of weird stuff starts happening with these bunnies. So I will check back in with you once I have more to update on. Okay, so it's been a day or two since I last updated you, and I am finally back home from my family's house. I drove in last night, and on the way home, though, I was listening to the audio, and I did manage to finish Bunny, which is also probably going to be the last time you actually see the physical book in this video, because it's to do the library before I'm going to finish, because I'll wait it too long. But I think for Bunny, I had to think on it. And I do think I'm going to land on about a 3.5 star. So I'm going to round it up to probably 4 on Goodreads, which is honestly way higher than I thought I was going to rate this book to begin with, because I never thought I was going to even read it, let alone enjoy it. The beginning of this was really strong. She has this humorous writing and these weird kind of ways of taking something that you feel like you've seen before and making it different. And I really liked the direction that she started to take it in the beginning. And then it started to lose me a bit. I just started to feel it bogged down and I didn't care so much anymore. Once what was happening with the bunnies was shown, I lost interest because it was a really cool idea and I liked the first setup of the idea, and then I don't know, I don't feel like they really went everywhere they could have with it, and it was just more of this, let's just jump into it like it's nothing and not really deal with the implications all that much, or even like explore how we're like really brought into this world, because realistically Sam, like, our main character, should have been like, oh yeah, heck no, but instead was just kind of going along with the ride. I didn't even really need that much of an explanation for everything, but it dragged down. and we were just going with it. And then we got to part 3. And in part 3 of this, it lost me. It was so fever dreamy. It was so, like, just what the crap is going on. And I had no clue what I was reading at one point. Like, I couldn't follow. And it finally wrapped up in the end, and I think I understood, like, where we got to. And I could respect, like, the general idea, but it got way, like, out of line for where I thought the story was going. I think had it just stuck to the main premise and almost stuck to, like, this creature-y, I don't know if to call it a creature, I'm trying not to spoil it, but, like, they went this route where it could have become, like, a creature feature, almost, witchy kind of thing, instead of going whatever route it chose to. They did just recently announce there's going to be a sequel for this. I think it's like We Love You Bunny or something like that. So I might check it out, because the completionist in me normally doesn't like to just stop in the middle of a series if I've at least decently liked the book. But, like, I don't know. Now, I will say, it's got me excited to read more Mona Awad. This one says some other book on the front, 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl or something like that. That one doesn't sound up my alley. But I do have All's Wells on my shelf, because something about that cover has just always reached out to me, even though I don't know if I'm going to like the content. But I didn't think I was going to like the content in this. So I do want to look into more of Mona Awad's work. I really do like her writing. I just think this one got a little too out of control for my taste. So I'm still kind of going on the weird girl, weird women creature vibe type thing, even though I guess the women weren't the creatures in this one, I can say that much, but they might as well have been, because they were the ones causing problems. But going on that vibe, I have started, and when I say started, I mean I'm like 20 pages into this. I don't really know much of what's the full premise of this book is yet, but I am going to go ahead and start Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison. Now, I've not read Rachel Harrison yet either, but I know she's known for, like, some of the light horror, magical realism kind of stuff. And I know in this one, we are following our main character who, I believe, she has been turned into a werewolf, or is going to turn into a werewolf. And I say that because so far in our book, she's been attacked by a werewolf, or what is presumed to be a werewolf, in my opinion, considering the cover. But yeah, no, I don't know much else. I know that from what I've heard about Rachel Harrison, usually hers are very character focused and more about, like, character growth and character stories, and these kind of elements are just a device of how to do it. So I don't think it's going to be about the monstrous werewolf story itself, but I am curious to what kind of weird vibes that it still kind of gives. It does have that almost women creature-y kind of feel, because our character is technically turning into a werewolf. It fits that even women's authors, because every book, I will say, is going to have a female author behind it. So I'm curious to get more into it. Of the 20-ish pages that I've read of it so far, I really like this, and from my understanding, I don't think this is one of Harrison's more popular books. We're going to read more, and I will hopefully have an update for you soon. Last night, I did finish Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison, and I actually really ended up enjoying this. So, I was going to try to, like, update, like, I don't know, partway through, but I didn't really feel like there was a good point in which to kind of do the update. I felt like this was just kind of a flow of a story and almost like a vibey kind of character study, and there never really felt like there was something to update about. Now, I did really enjoy this way more than I expected to, and I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. I do think I like this one a bit more than Bunny. And this fits the kind of weird girl, creaturous monster kind of thing, because not only are we following Rory, who is questionably turning into a werewolf, But we're also kind of following some of her relationships in life when she has come to sit with her sister, who is pregnant and has kind of been left alone. The boyfriend's left, and Rory is going to go stay with her, help take care of her, give her some company. And she is just like returned to her small town from Manhattan, and that's around the time that Rory gets attacked by what she is calling a bear, but we know is probably a werewolf. And it really had a lot of thematic things that I liked with pregnancy, and it kind of paralleled it and juxtaposed like women's bodies changing during pregnancy to how Rory's body was changing as a werewolf, and it like Rory was able to like kind of relate to her sister in ways she otherwise wouldn't be able to. But it also had a lot of topic on like childhood trauma and things that Rory had been in, and there was even kind of a romance plot, which was the part that I didn't like. So, while I liked some of the exploration of topics, this romance it could have done without. And I was rooting for the whole book that maybe it'd have kind of this really dark, twisty kind of ending that I didn't end up getting. Or at least not in the way that I wanted it to. But also, I was shipping the wrong people. I really thought this would have been more effective as like kind of like a sapphic love story, almost dark romance kind of level if it would have taken that turn. But it wasn't the story that Rachel Harrison was trying to write. It wasn't what she wanted to be. I've just been reading so many messed up things that even though this is about like a werewolf, I think every book I've read this month has either been horror or horror adjacent. So this has been like my lightest read other than like a coffee table book. But even that was still written by Stephen King and about gargoyles. So I just kept waiting for it to take a darker route than it was going to, which I knew it wasn't. So that's really on me. But other than the romance, I hated the love interest. I didn't get the connection. I thought it was really unnecessary and annoying most of the time. And every time there was a problem, like it was solved within like maybe half a page. Like the conversation would last maybe half a page. And I'm like, no, give me more drama if that's the route we're gonna take. But overall, it was just such a good time. 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. I think the last book is going to be Mother Thing by Ainsley Hogarth. And this is kind of the book that I've been really wanting to get to and kind of gave me the idea for this along with Such Sharp Teeth. I don't know why I've kind of associated them. I just really love this cover. And I don't know why I've associated this with Such Sharp Teeth other than the fact that it looks like it's a woman turning into a monster of some kind. But this is about, I believe her name is it Abby? I haven't actually started this yet. I've just kind of thrown my bookmark in. But like Abby and her husband have moved, and I don't know if it's with his mother or if it's just like into her house or what exactly is going on. But Abby and his mother have not had a good relationship, don't really get along, and something creaturous starts happening with the mother-in-law, and that's all I really know right now. So I'm really excited to jump into this. I've heard some pretty good things about it. And then I think this will be the last kind of weird girl type stuff going on. I thought it was really funny though when I looked at the blurb of this, because on the very back it relates this to Mona Awad's Bunny and Otasha Moshfegh, but we don't talk about her because I think everyone's learned by now that I am not a fan of her stories. But I did enjoy Bunny, which I read in this video, which I didn't actually see that blurb before I picked that book out. So I'm going to start reading Mother Thing, and I will hopefully have something to update on partway through, but if not, I'll see you when I'm done. So I am back with a update on Mother Thing, and I am, I don't know, 50-ish% of the way through. And I think this is going to be a pretty unfortunate update, because I think I'm going to DNF this. And this isn't quite how I want it to end the vlog at all. This really sucks having to, well, I don't have to, but this really sucks DNFing this at this point, because one, I was really excited for this book. The cover is phenomenal. Plus, this was going to be one of my Buzzwordathon books because for Books and Lala's Buzzwordathon, the title challenge was words using thing. And this was going to be my book using thing because it was the only one I owned. The only one that I own. So yeah, we're DNFing, and I only have about a week left in March to find a book with thing on it. Oh wait, I do have another book. I just recently bought one. I forgot, I recently hauled Something in the Walls by Daisy Pierce, which is an anticipated book for me that I'm really excited about. Okay, I feel better. For a better description of what Mother Thing is about, we are following Abby and Ralph, who are a married couple, and they have recently moved back in with Ralph's mother. Well, Ralph's mother, Laura. I guess it helps to have her name before I just start saying it. Now, Abby and Laura did not get along very well. And, okay, cool. I thought this was going to be some book about, you know, Laura becoming this creature or just this horrible person, whatever. No, in the first, page, Laura unalives herself. She is not around anymore. And what this really is dealing with grief. And the husband, Ralph, goes into this, depression over the loss of his mother. And Abby is, trying to almost be, Ralph's savior. And she starts to, take it upon herself of, Ralph can't be like this forever. But I hate Abby with a passion, and I don't think she's supposed to be likable to begin with. So it's giving My Husband by Maud Ventura, which I think I gave around 3 stars, and I liked because it was about, this wife who's obsessed with her husband. And in this, Abby is obsessed with Ralph. She's obsessed. She just is my entire life is Ralph and this and that. And looking at this cover, okay, I would be thinking okay, old school horror, this is set in the past, so maybe the societal expectations are different. No, it's modern day. It's just got a cool cover. And it's not even vintage for that. It's vintage specifically because of this nasty looking Jell-O salad that comes up at some point, because she makes this salmon Jell-O salad. Who's gonna eat that? Anyways, that's beside. This isn't a Midwestern Mop video. If you've seen her shorts, she's hilarious. So Abby is obsessed with Ralph, and she's no, basically talking my whole purpose in the world is being Ralph's wife and this and that. And I don't care what Laura said, I'm a good wife, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I want to have Ralph's babies, and we're going to be such a happy family, even though he's over here grieving. And then she's decides she's pregnant. She's a day late. And then she starts doing this whole, well, maybe I should just tell him I'm pregnant, and that will make him happy. Ma'am, what are you talking about here? I should just tell him I'm pregnant. Well, no, maybe I shouldn't. That would be me. No, what are you talking about? No. And this is all going on really early on. This isn't big spoiler stuff. Also, the whole freaking synopsis on the back has laid out more than I've even read at 50% in. There's still some things that hasn't fully happened, I'm pretty sure. It's just now getting into some of this in synopsis stuff. So really, there's no spoilers. There's also this whole thing, something with her and this lady in a nursing home that she's obsessed with. Or friends with. I don't know, it feels that's leaning towards a obsession, but I'm not going to read to find out. Okay, that's a lie. I read a synopsis online, and I'm not missing out on much. I don't know, I hate Abby, and I don't really like the writing in this, which I feel I should. I feel this isn't badly written. I'm not vibing with something with the voice. And that's nothing against, Ainsley Hogarth, but, I don't know, like, it's not clicking for me, and it's nice and descriptive, and some of the descriptive things are, like, real descriptive and, like, in a way that I would normally like. But I think it's just Abby. I think that, yes, she is supposed to be unlikable, but this is one of those unlikable characters where she's so unlikable, it's ruining my enjoyment of the book. And then, like, the whole mother thing. If I have to hear one more time this woman call a couch a mother thing, the couch is not your mother. And I understand the symbolism of she's, like, trying to relate to things that feel motherly or give her the comfort of a mother, because we dive into, like, Abby's upbringing and all of that. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. The synopsis did not save the book, because I kept seeing reviews where it's like, yeah, the last 50% is when it gets really unhinged. And I just got to the 50% mark, but I'm so bored, I don't want to read anymore. So anyways, this is a huge rant. This is just a rant. I don't like it. I'm not going to finish it. It's we're done. Bookmark, out. Go somewhere else. Just, I don't know. This, I'm sure that a lot of people would enjoy this. It's good for the grief. It's not terribly horrific. It's just very descriptive. I don't think the mother is the monster or ghost or whatever that it's kind of suggesting she might be. I don't know. I'm not diving into that. I literally have gotten a headache from trying to read this book. So with that, I do think we're going to call that the end of this weird women's fiction horror, like, unhinged female whatever this is vlog thing. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what this is anymore. The vibes are vibing, but I'm kind of moving on past the vibes at this point. I'm a little tired of the vibes. So, yeah, end of video. Cool. Sorry, that's not much excitement. I am getting a headache from that mother thing. Something is happening and it's not mothering. In this video, that does mean, though, that we've read 3 strange books. The first of all being Bunny by Mona Awad, which I did give a 3.5 stars. And it's a book I never thought I would read. And it did show up at the end because it's due at the library well, the library's closed today. So it's got to go back here soon, but whatever. Nashville, I don't think, does late fees, and it wasn't happening. I haven't been able to make it to the library. So, 3.5 stars. We also read Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison, which would be my favorite of the video. And that was a good 4-star book. Huge surprise. And our travesty of a DNF of Mother Thing by Ainsley Hogarth. I've just realized I've said her name both Ansley and Ainsley. Yet again, not sure if I'm saying the author's name right because I am not a good person and did not do my research. But, oops. With that, though, that's a wrap. If you've made it to this point of the video, thank you so much for watching and just making it this far. If you've read any of these books, please in the comments let me know your thoughts, or if there's any other, like, weird girl, fiction, horror, whatever this vlog is, stuff that you think would fit these vibes. Let me know down below, because even though I'm a little burnt out on it right now, I definitely do enjoy these kind of, like, weird vibe books. If not, you could also, I think there's a bunny emoji at least, so if there's a bunny emoji, leave me that bunny emoji to let me know that you made it here. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, please feel free to down below. I would really appreciate it. And hopefully I will see you again here soon with another video. Ramble's over. I'll see you later. Bye.